Hello, everyone. As you may all know, I'm a huge fan of Stranger Things, and today I thought I'd bring you a different video going over the behind the scenes companion called Stranger Things The World Upside Down. This is such a fantastic companion, very similar to the Industrial Light and Magic companion from a couple of decades ago, but I love it. It's very vintage. It has a library covering, weak binding and covers. And yeah, it even has a fair sticker price on there. I'll show more photos from the book later on, but for any fans out there who love Stranger Things, this companion is for you. I love it. As you may know, besides the Beyond Stranger Things documentaries, we haven't really had any behind the scenes footage or making of special features on the Blu-ray, and they go old school and give you a lot of insight to the production of Stranger Things in this novel. I love it. It shows what the Duffers went through before creating Stranger Things. There's like a brief forward and afterward. You have the Duffer Brothers and Sean Levy. It talks about how they came up with the story, their influences in film and television, and ultimately it goes through the production of the show, how it became a cult classic, how it just exploded, and we had Stranger Things phenomenon happen, Justice for Barb, Justice for Muse, things like that. It actually goes through each stage of the series. We get to see them go from pitching Stranger Things, them being rejected, Netflix picking them up, going through production, casting, making the sets look like the 1980s, their process, and then dealing with the whole success of the first season and moving forward into season two. The opportunities and obstacles they had to go through. And it leaves a little bit of a hint of what Stranger Things 3 will hold in July. I love Stranger Things, The World Upside Down. The paper binding is very thick. It feels like a very old-fashioned book. There's even cool little interludes in there that make it look like a yearbook. Has like a VHS cassette, makes it look kind of 1980s. There's even a little chart on how to do Morse code. I love that, with Will being possessed by the Mind Flayer. So many little things, and for people who grew up in the 80s, 90s, have a nostalgia for everything that's kind of, been shown for nostalgia's sake in the recent decade will love this book. Seriously, I haven't read a guide like this in forever. Probably since before DVDs. We used to get insight to film production through books, and this is such a great companion. I love it. Has different excerpts from the actors and their process in dealing with the characters. And we also get to see how they make some of the special effects on the show with green screen, the Demogorgon being a guy in a suit, and then certain influences and homages to other properties like Stephen King's The Body, which is the film Stand By Me, The Shining, The Exorcist, Jaws, Gremlins. So many things. Even to the score, which is done by an Austin-based group. I love it. Kyle Dixon's score that made it more like a synthesized score. They didn't want to have a knockoff of John Williams, so they actually talk about it being kind of like John Carpenter films or Cliff Martinez's score in Drive. Man, I love this book. It was a blast from beginning to end, and any fan of Stranger Things should definitely check it out. It's been a while since I've seen a guide that's been basically it's been a while since I've seen a guide that has this much love and detail put into it, with some input from the producers and creators, the cast, the way the photos are, the way it's organized. It's just so vintage and just 80s nostalgia at its best. It goes with everything you've seen from the show, the merchandise, the DVD sets. It shows you the Duffer Brothers wrote a really great story with a really great set of characters, and that triumphs over any 80s nostalgia there is. I love it. There was a lot of stuff I did not know about the show that I learned through this. And yeah, it's a different type of book. Of course, there is a novelization out that's canon, but if you want to know about the production and more behind the scenes, then this book here is the book for you. I love it. Even love this. And then, yeah, behind the cover, there's even the drawing that Will did from season 2. I love that with the Mind Flayer. So much attention to detail, yet there's so many little nods for fans out there. And like many others, I'm a fan of Stranger Things. I was an early adopter back in 2016. It came out in the summer. Yeah, in mid-July. This is the book for you, and I highly recommend it. If you have the money and you want to spend a little bit extra on a book, you don't want to read a novel, you want to see a behind the scenes book, definitely get this if you're a Stranger Things fan. I just love it. And it smells new. It's not like yellow page or anything, but I just love how vintage it looks. It's like an old library book. And it's just perfect. So if you want to take a trip back to the Upside Down, I highly recommend this book. Anyway, that does it for my thoughts of this behind the scenes companion for Stranger Things. If you want to see more Stranger Things videos on my channel, feel free to check them out here. And yeah, subscribe for more videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to come back to the Upside Down.